hit record. Hey everyone, welcome to week 1 of July. In week 2, these are the weirdest months in the world. We've got a pretty straightforward schedule after this. The 9th, the 10th. Am I recording? I just need to double check this. Here we go. Recording level's good. Awesome. So we've got a pretty straightforward month after this. The 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th for week 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're diving into our last tune in our Beatles mania, our Beatlemania focus. Something by the Beatles. Such an arbitrary term, huh? Something. It's a really, really great song. Fantastic songwriting. This is another one of those kind of stanza format songs where we're not really playing a verse, stop, chorus, back to verse, right? It's more of those kind of like long form. It feels like the verse and the chorus are kind of one thing, right? It's like a verse with a big long statement that finishes. You know what I mean? We'll be learning a little riff that kind of serves as the caps for the verse section. You know, you always end it. Right? That's what we're going to be kind of learning for our riff section. And a lot of different chords. So let's start there maybe. Let's start in harmony. These 3 chords, they're names you can know. I think everybody here should be able to name these chords, considering their level with ukulele. But basically, I'm just moving from the 3rd fret, 2nd fret, and the 1st fret, just moving chromatically down the A string, right? I want to make sure original sound is on. All right, everyone is muted. Cool. All right, so we played the 3rd fret, the 2nd fret, the 1st fret. There's our C major chord, our C major 7 chord, and then our C7 chord. Beautiful. Everybody play an F after me. 2, 0, 1, and 0. Our next chord is a D. Something in the way. To a G. She moves me. Now, just like we did with the A minor, the C chord, we're going to do that with an A minor chord. 2, 1, and then 0. Cool. Let's try it again. A minor. 1st fret. Open. Let's try it one more time. 2nd fret. 1st fret. And open. Beautiful. All right, cool. Let's try and cycle through this. Before we actually get a visual, let's see if we can kind of connect with our ears, how our hands are moving. Let's play a C major chord, and let's hold for 2 counts. 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready. And she moves. 3, 4, and 1, 2, ready. 1st fret. Attracts me like no F chord, lover. And D, something in the way. She to G moves me. Now when we go to that A minor where we're descending, we're going to do it half the time. No, I'm done. 1st fret. Open. No, I believe to D. Beautiful. There is my chord progression. Let's take a look at it. C, 2 measures. C major 7, 2 measures. C7, 2 measures. F, 2 measures. D, 2 measures. G, 2 measures. And then when we get into that last 4-bar phrase, we're going to be moving half a measure each time. Make sense? Okay, awesome. Let's try it. 2, 3, 4. Something in the way she moves. 2, ready. Tracks me like no other lover. 2, and ready. And something in the way she moves me. Now half the duration. Here we go. No, I believe. 1st fret. And open. No, I believe in how. Nicely done. All right, before we get into the riff section, let's talk a little bit about rhythm, okay? First thing I want to do is just what we described before I hit record, which is hear the rhythm, be able to replicate it. Sounds like this. 1, da, ba, 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 ba. 1, ta, da, 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 da. 1, 2, ba, 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 da, 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 da. Let's go slower. Boom, ba, 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 da da da. 1, 3, 4, and 2, and 4, and 1. Ba ba da 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 da. So really the confusing part of this rhythm is sort of in the middle, right? And this is where it gets syncopated. You hear 2 up strums in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, right? Those kind of like couplets of eighth notes, but one happens downbeat, offbeat. The other one happens offbeat, downbeat, right? That's what makes it a little bit tough. But remember, just memorize the sound and then know at the very end, you're doing this little flourish of eighth notes in a row, right? Dot, 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 da. Dot, 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 da. And 4 and 1. It's like a little pickup into the long note that happens on the downbeat. All right, let's give it a try. 2, 3, 4. Ba, 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 da, da, ba, ba, da, da, da. And finish 1. I've been recording something on my iPad this whole time. I hope that didn't take up too much space. 2, 3, 4. Ba, da, 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 da. And ba, ba, da, eighth note, da, 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 da. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. Finish on 1. Nicely done. Let's take it to the ukulele. 2, 3, 4. Ba, 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 ba. Let's work on that move just a little bit. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. Yeah, that little syncopated moment in the rhythm, I think is the thing that's going to trip the most people up. Now what I want to try is a little ba, 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 ba. That little thing at the end is up, down, down. And that's the pickup that you're going to finish the rhythm with, and the last down strum will be the beginning of the rhythm. All right, let's try it again. 2, ready, whole thing. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. 1, 2, 4, and 2, and 4, and 1. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. 2 more times. Da, 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 da. Last one. Da, da, da. And let's finish on 1. Nicely done. Let's go C, major 7, and C7. 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 and switch. Da, 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 and first fret. Nice. Let's go back to the 3rd fret. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Last time, 3rd fret. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Let's finish on an F chord. Beautiful. That's it. Only thing you need to pay attention to is this, is what we're learning is one rhythm. So it can oftentimes feel like one measure, right? When we look at the chord chart, 2 measures is going to represent one entire rhythm. Does that make sense? Cool. So that's when I look at this and I see C and then another C. What that really represents is one full rotation of the rhythm. When we get into the A minor 7, A minor major 7, then A minor 7. When we get into that little section, what we're going to be doing is changing the rhythm slightly, playing half a measure for each of those chords. Does that make sense? Or you can view it as the rhythm is 2 measures. However, it's all in the eye of the beholder. Make sense? Awesome. Okay, now what I want to pay attention to is the first half of that rhythm. That's going to teach us what our second rhythm is. It sounds like this. 1, ba, ba, ba. Right there, if we start the rhythm over, then we're playing 2 rotations. So it sounds like ba, 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 right? We can think of this rhythm as basically just half note to quarter note to eighth notes, right? It's long, shorter. There you go. It's long, short, shorter, long, short, shorter, long. Yeah, short, shorter, long. Beautiful. Let's play A minor. First fret A minor. Open A minor. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's try it again. 2, 1, 0. Now, can you hear how we're moving twice as fast, right? 1/2 the rotation gives us this, then gives us this. Beautiful. Let's play a D, and then we'll cap that whole rotation off. Let's try it again. A minor. Beautiful. And open. Nice. 2, 1, 0, and let's cap it with the D. Beautiful. 2 more times, just like that. A minor, major 7, and there's our A minor 7, and there's our D. Last time, here we go. Nice. Good. And show me D. Beautiful. And finish on 1. Nicely done. Nicely done. One thing you want to pay attention to is that if I strike this very evenly, what ends up happening is a lot of times I can't really hear that movement very much. What I want to do is sort of turn. If you think of the most natural strumming position as coming across the strings as evenly as possible, all I'm really doing is changing the trajectory. So if I change the trajectory and kind of make it a little sharper into the top string, then what I'll do is sort of focus my energy or attack on the top half of the strings, right? It gives me a little bit more emphasis. See how I can really make that movement stand out in the A minor chord, where most of the time when we strum, we're not really focusing our energy. Here, what we can do is actually shift it just a little to really make that movement stand out, okay? Just a quick little point. All right, let's look at our chord progression. So now what we've got is the whole thing. And remember, what we need to teach our right hand to do is to move between these two rhythmic patterns, right? Actually, before we move on, I wanted to point out really quick that this beginner rhythm is really the first half of our main rhythm in the intermediate part, but it's just that. It's just repeating over and over again. So when I get into the intermediate part, that's the thing, is as a lot of times what we think about is like, oh, this rhythm here, it's a whole nother rhythm. But no, that's not true. It's actually just the beginning of our first rhythm, right? Beginning of our first rhythm is there, and then we repeat that same rhythm. Cool? Makes sense? Now that I'm thinking about this, this should probably be red, shouldn't it? Because then it'll teach us that we move our chords in that moment. Style, red. Okay, cool. Does that make sense? All right, let's try moving between these two rhythms just with our right hand. 1, 2, ready, top rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down. Up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and up, down. Let's switch to the second rhythm. Ba, 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 da, ba. Ba, ba, da, ba. Ba, ba, da, ba. Cool, 2 rotations each. Here we go, first one. Second line. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and switch. 2, 3, 4, and ba, 2, ba. All right, let's go 1 rotation each. Top line. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. Second line. Ba, 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 da, da, ba, ba, da, ba, 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 da, ba. All right, let's play top line, then the second line. Top, 2, 3, 4, and down. Ready, we switch. Ba, 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 ba. And we switch. Ba, 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 da, ba, da. And we switch. Ba, 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 da, ba. And let's finish on 1. Awesome. Now, obviously, in that context, those 2 rhythms, they are a little more complicated, a little more. Once you start to get the chord movement, you can hear those transitions a lot easier. But I do want you to know that that's really the right hand's job for this entire arrangement. Other than the riff section for the rest of the song. And the riff section is going to make up, what, 10 seconds, 15 seconds of it, right? So really, it's like the right hand is just consistently moving through these. And remember, as soon as we can, we kind of touched on this in the beginner intermediate class, As soon as you can, start to hum this melody to yourself. Start to sing this melody to yourself, you know? As soon as this rhythm starts to make sense, something in the way she moves, right? Or you want to do the most syncopated one, something in the way she moves, right? As soon as I can start to interact with that melodic line, then what happens is my body's becoming familiar with it. And you can see I'm not moving between chords. Obviously, this is a little easier chord set to be able to move between because we know most of these chords. But like I said, if you're finding yourself tripping up, try stripping away one of the elements. It's very, very helpful to simplify what you're doing as you're moving into more and more complicated things. Let's take a breather. It's mostly because I want to drink some water and I'm tired of talking. How are you? How's life?
Good. Okay, a quick question.
Yep.
What's the third A called? Was it A?
That's a tough one.
What did it say? Or there was something on there.
It's a tough one.
What is that?
I just want you to know that it's a typo. It's something I'm working on. This is not.
Right.
It used to say 6, and it's not.
Oh, it's 7. Okay.
Okay. A minor, major 7, A
So
minor
it follows
7.
the exact same pattern as the C's.
Exactly. Yeah. Those you can think of those little prefixes. No, prefixes, suffixes. You can think of those little enders as modifiers, right? They're basically how you move the chord. Because if you think about it, the top 3 strings are staying open in the C chord, which means you're modifying one voice. You're basically creating a 4-part harmony, moving from a C chord to a C major 7 to a C7, right? And that one voice is creating that extension that's making the chord quality change, right? Same thing that happens in the A minor, it just happens on the G string, moving from 2nd fret, which is an A, then we move to a G sharp, which is the minor major 7, and then we move to a G, which is the major 7. The minor 7, sorry. Man, very confusing. Okay, any questions, comments, concerns? Other questions, comments, concerns, because that was a great question. Are you sure? I got another great answer. So could you imagine if you asked one more great question and I answered it in a great way?
All I had in me.
That's it. Okay, cool. We're empty. Our question bucket is empty. Okay, let's work on the riff. Let me double check what I wrote in the arrangement. We'll go here. We'll go search something in the way she moves. Attracts me like no other lover. Riff. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I found this little funky way to do it. All right, let's play an F chord here real quick. Oh man. Yeah, it's like that. Cool. So first thing I want to do is work on my bends. That's really what we need to know how to do in this tune. That's the skill. So first thing I want to try is this. I want to find a really easy one. Let's go to the E string. Let's go up to the 5th fret like this. Okay, so we want to teach ourselves. I'm going to use my middle finger. It's kind of my pointer finger. That's a pretty strong finger, right? And I just want to take it and I want to bend it up. See how I do that? I basically keep the pressure down. And and can you hear the pitch increase? I've got a question, Christine. Do you know why that pitch is changing? What's the physics? What's the actual kind of thing that's happening to make that note change pitch? Because you can hear it. You can hear it changing, right? I'm going to wait until your internet fixes because I know you've been
like you're stretching the chord, so it's...
Oh, interesting. Stretching the chord. Not
frozen.
Yeah, you were a second ago.
I'm not the chord, stretching the string.
There you go.
So it's like expanding it, making it tighter. Tighter is higher, right?
There you go. Why is the string tighter? I wonder. How do we make a higher pitch on the ukulele normally? Like if I was to play an open A and then I put a 3rd fret on the A string down, what am I doing to the string itself?
Shortening it.
I'm shortening it, exactly. So that's really what you're doing. Yes, you are stretching the string, but technically what you're doing is you're creating a pivot in the string set. And so what happens is it's a shorter distance than the straight line is, right? Wherever your finger is, when you push it up into a point like this, you're shortening the string that's vibrating on the backside, right? It's like the angle changes slightly, and it just makes the string just a little bit shorter. And that's why you hear this like microtonal change in pitch. You don't hear a chromatic movement, which is 1 half step. You actually hear something that's a little less than a half step. You can make it a half step. You can make it a whole step. You might even be able to make it a whole step and a half step. Just depends on how much flexibility is in your string, how big the frets are, how far the strings are spaced apart. But really what you're looking is for that little microtonal move, that little it's kind of like the way your voice, you can sing one note and then another, or you can kind of sweep from one note to the next, and you include all of those microtones. So now that we've got that idea, what we want to try is instead of using our pointer finger to play, because that's fine, let's see if we can take our middle finger and use it, which is technically for me a stronger finger, and I want to actually use my pointer finger too. Do you kind of notice how my pointer finger playing on the 4th fret suddenly gives me a lot more? It's just easier to do because you're actually combining both strings. Instead of just fretting with one string and then trying to bend it, you're actually fretting with one finger and bending with 2. If you work them in unison, it's a lot easier. You can do the exact same thing with a ring finger, but remember, use all 3 when you bend the string. And then the last one is really interesting because it's like, I can do that, and the pinky finger is my weakest finger. But what's funny is with all of the combined strength of the other fingers kind of teaming up, it's easier to bend the string, which is very strange. It's a weird feeling. You're kind of like, oh, pinky's the most awkward finger. It might not feel natural. It might feel a little weird, but I want you to know that strength-wise, you're actually using 4 fingers to bend the string instead of 1, 2, or even 3. For me, the strongest one, because my ring finger is a little more accurate, is a 3-finger bend like this. But this is a really great technique to start to practice, that anytime you need to bend or make manipulations, if you kind of borrow the strength of the other fingers when you're doing it, it makes it really easy to do. Now, what's really cool about this is that you can kind of bend both directions. You're doing the exact same thing. So that's what I'll practice next, is trying to get all 4 fingers to hold on the E string and then just bend it down. Feel that? Okay, let's jump up to the G string. That's fun, right? All right, now what I want to try is this. I want to take that stack of fingers and I want to just move them real quick. Now, do you notice that when I'm lined up here on the 4th fret, my middle finger's on the 2nd fret and my pointer finger's on the 1st fret, right? So now let's just try that bend. All right, now what I want to try is this. I want to try to play an F chord. I want to go into this bend, and then I want to play the 2nd fret on the G string to finish. That's kind of the whole move. That's what the whole riff is, okay? So we're playing an F chord, and then we play the G string, and then a bend, and then I take my pinky away, and then I go to the 2nd fret. Cool? F chord, play the G string, 4-finger bend like that, and then back to the 2nd fret. Make sense? That's the riff. That's all it is. It goes. That's it. Make sense? F, then we do a bend. Cool. One more time. F, G string, 4th fret bend, then back to the 2nd fret. Nicely done. Awesome. This is one instance where I would probably take the chord off. Now, I know that anytime we're playing riff sections or anything that has to do with solo ukulele, right? I always consider riffs, especially in the intermediate and advanced kind of arrangements, I always kind of consider them as like mini solo pieces, right? Because I'm trying to integrate some of the skill sets, some of the conceptualization of the what we're actually making in the music. But here, because I like those kind of 4 fingers, because this is not an easy bend, because we're not in the middle of the string, which is where the least amount of tension is. We're not at the worst, right? Which is like a first or a 2nd bend. Those are really hard to do. We are at the 4th, but if you can borrow the strength of the other fingers to really catch that bend, then what'll happen is you can get that nice sound that you really want to emulate from the recording, right? That sound is just so, it's so. Yeah, it's just so iconic, right? It like makes the whole song, right? And then you hear it at the very end. Right? It's such a cool riff that they doubled it in the recording. They were like, you play it, I'll play it too. It's really, really great. All right, cool. So the whole thing is an F chord. We play the 2nd fret. We bend the 4th and then back to 2. And then we'll play a chord called an E flat chord, which I'm realizing on the handouts from the last class I didn't actually put on the handouts. E flat is a chord that doesn't really belong in the tune, but we are using it in the riff section. So you can view it that way until I actually kind of update the handouts, okay? So the chord is 0, 3, 3, and 1. Cool. I play open, middle finger 3rd fret, ring finger 3rd fret, and then pointer finger 1st fret. Now, what I like to think about is when I'm thinking about left-hand technique is transformation. You know that as like left-hand technique, really what you want to teach yourself is how to move between chord sets. So what I like to think about is the chord I'm going from, which is an F chord, and think about the movement that I really need to make. If you drop an F chord just down one floor, right, you end up here, 0, 2, 0, 1. So that's the sort of falling motion that you can think of your hand. And as you're doing it, you just open that chord shape and add the ring finger, right? F, dropping into E flat, like this. Cool. Let's try again. F, drop and open into E flat. 2 more times. Here we go. F, drop and open into E flat. Beautiful. 1 more time. F, drop and open into E flat. Ah, nicely done. Now what's cool about this is if I actually lift the pointer in the middle off, guess what's there? The ring finger switching into G. Everybody kind of feel that movement, that motion. See if you can keep your ring finger as the anchor, right? Every time I'm thinking about transformation, what I'm really trying to think is how do I move between these two shapes fluidly, right? How do I move between them with the least amount of movement possible? It's all about finding commonalities, right? Commonalities in shape, commonalities in fret number, in which string you're on, and here that ring finger can really serve as the nice pivot. Cool, so now let's go from an F chord to an E flat chord to a G chord, right? Remember, that's the dance you gotta memorize. Of course, we've got this, right? We've got that little move that we need to incorporate, but that's really most of the riff is this. Bum, bum, and then we finish on the C chord. Cool. Let's give it a try. 2, 3, whole notes. Here we go. F, 2, and ready, E flat. Here we go. 2, ready, and G. Nice. Let's try F again. Here we go. 2, ready, E flat. 2, ready, and G. Nicely done. Let's go 2 more times. Here we go. F, 2, ready, and 2, ready, and yeah. And last time. 2, ready, and nice. Ready, and all right, so here is the actual arrangement in terms of progression, right? We go F, 2, 3, 4, half, half, and then finish on C. Cool, so let's try that. 2, ready, whole notes. Here we go. F, 2, ready, and E flat, G, and C. 2, ready, here we go, it's all good. F, 2, ready, open and drop. Keep the ring finger, pivot to G, and finish on C. Last time, here we go. F, 2, here we go. E flat, G, and C. Cool, whole notes to half notes, here we go. And on this next rotation, I want you to just hear what I'm doing, yeah? Here we go, F. Nice. And here. All right, let's work through that slowly. Remember, F chord, and then we play the G string, we bend, and then we go back to 2. Let's try it again, F. play 2, bend 4, and then back to 2. Last time, here we go. F, top string, bend 4, back to 2. Awesome. Last time, here we go. F, G string, bend, and then back to 2. Now from here, we switch E flat, we play G, and then we play C. Awesome. Let's see if we can do it all together. 2, 3, 4, and F, G string, bend 4, back to 2, E flat, half note G, half note C. Nicely done. Ready? Here we go. F, 2, bend, back to 2, E flat, G, and then C. 2, last time. Here we go. And F. Play G, bend 4, back to 2, E flat, G, and then C. Now on the C chord, it's really important to understand you are going right back into the rhythm, right? You go something, right? You've got to be prepared to switch those roles in those hats. And remember, being able to do those two things separately, awesome. That's great. That's a wonderful first step. But our goal is to actually go from this, switch into this, do it all smoothly. I always think about it as like a speed bump, right? It's like it feels like a speed bump because we're not used to that switch, but the more we drive it, I don't know, the car's really heavy and it squashes the speed bump down, I guess. I don't know. That's like, yeah, exactly. Or you just start flying over it. All right, awesome. Armed with that information, we've got our main rhythm. We've got our rhythm when we're moving chords quicker, right? And then we've got our riff section. So, that being said, let's tackle this, shall we? Intro riff, verse 1, into riff again. Here we go. 1, 2, a riff, and here we go. And F, G string, bend 4, back to 2, E flat, then G into our first rhythm. Something in the way she moves, da 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 da. C7 attracts me like no other lover. Here we go. Something in the way she moves me. Remember, we switch rhythm. Here we go. Don't wanna leave now. A minor 7. No, I believe. To D. Here we go. Beautiful. And then F. E flat. G. Straight into the rhythm. Something. Start over. In the way she moves. C7. Attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she woos me. Here we go. I don't wanna leave now. You know I believe in how. To the riff. Here we go. E flat, G. Let's finish on C. Nicely done, a team. Feel okay? Feel good?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for joining. Got a little solo session. Got a little solo session with all of that screaming. It was fun, wasn't it?
I couldn't even hear it.
Oh, awesome. I like to hear that. Maybe it won't come through in the recording either. You got any questions before we get out of here today?
No.
It was nice to see you,
That's
Christine.
good.
Yeah, awesome. These videos will be up ASAP as soon as possible. And yeah, we'll try and get stuff recorded and synced up over the weekend. Nice to see you. We'll see you next time, okay?
All right. So long.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.